Right, hi, I'm Wayne from Damage Undone, and I've teamed up with ProXL to make you a couple of how-to videos. So we're going to focus on how to prep a panel correctly, what happens when you don't prep a panel properly, a little bit of plastic welding, retexturing, bit of denibbing, polishing up, and then finally how to get rid of a run. So hopefully you will find these videos really helpful. To start our how-to videos off, we're going to focus on panel prep. Now, we all have our own different techniques of prepping a panel, but these are the techniques and the process that really helps me out. So this is a panel that I have done without going through all the stages. And when we bring you into it shortly, you'll see the defects in the panel, the nibbing that needs to be done, the run that I put in there. We all get runs. Now listen, we all get runs, even the best painter. But surprisingly for me to make this prep panel and put a run in it was really difficult, and I don't know why. But so we got a run on there to concentrate on. And then over here is a panel that I went through my process, and you'll see how it is a much cleaner finish. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a cleaner finish, and it does look like chalk and cheese. So when I talk to you about processes, everything in life is about a process. So from the moment we're born, we are developing processes. So we come out, we can't walk, we're on our stomachs, we roll onto our backs. We start to crawl, and then from crawl you might sit up, and then from sit up you might start to walk. And these things, and then you start to run. And this is all a process. And that then becomes second nature. You don't even think about it. And that's what we want these videos to help you with. Just to understand that process so you know what you're doing and you don't have to think twice. So there's 5 processes for me that I like to use to get as clean a finish as absolutely possible. And they're as follows. A solvent degreaser. Always use a solvent degreaser first. A lot of you will go from a solvent degreaser straight to paint. I personally don't like it. I don't think it's the right way to do, and some of the tech reps out there have told me it isn't. So I will do a solvent degreaser followed by a water-based degreaser. Now, why would I follow that with a water-based degreaser? This is because a water-based degreaser will help to neutralize the panel, help reduce any static buildup in the panel. And you can test this yourself just by trying the 2 different products on a panel, and you'll see. I will then wipe these products down using a decent lint-free cloth, or you can use a microfiber towel. Now, a lot of you guys out there I know absolutely love microfiber towels, and I got these in to test them. They're great, they work really well, but I found I kept going back to my lint-free cloth. So that's the one I really liked. So after you've done that, you've solvent degreased, you've water-based degreased, you wiped it all down. I would then use a good tack rag. Now you can get solvent tack rags or you can get water-based tack rags. These are a general tack rag from a company called Fast Mover in the UK, and they've always worked really well for me. And the reason why they're called tack rags is because they've got a coating on them that gives them a sort of tacky feel, and that will help lift off anything that's possibly landed on the panel. Immediately after doing that, and I know this isn't open to a lot of you guys and girls, but I would use an anti-static gun. So I've got a really small little one here. It's the Iron Star. I really like it. It's nifty. But this just gives that panel that final prep stage and totally neutralizes any static on it. So you've got nothing being drawn towards that panel. And that's going to help you get a better finish. Now we're going to talk about the panels themselves and the effects of missing out that stage. So by skipping out one of the processes that I've just been telling you about, this is what will happen. You will create yourself more work. You will have all these denibs. Forget the run, because the run I put on there on purpose for the next video. But you have got all this contamination in your paintwork, which has come just because you missed one of the process steps. And this will then give you, yes, they can be polished out, but it's going to give you more work at the end of your job and grief. You want to try and always have as clean a finish as you possibly can. And it takes hardly any time to include the extra step in the process compared to how long it'll take you to clean this up. So with this panel that I missed the stages out on, I'm going to tell you the stages that I missed out. I basically panel wiped it with some solvent degreaser, followed it with the water-based degreaser because that's always happens. I used it with this. Now the way I like to apply my degreasers is through one of these pump spray bottles. I just find it's a little bit, you've got a little bit more control, you've got less wastage than if you're trying to pour it out of the tin. So put it onto the panel, that was it, and that was the job. What I did not do is I did not tack rag it afterwards, and I certainly didn't use the anti-static gun. And those, just missing out those two simple stages. Well, in fact, let's take this out of the equation because a lot of you don't have this and it's not in the budget. So just missing out this simple stage, this final stage, created all the nibs that you've seen in my video. So this is a panel that I've done using my process. And you're never gonna get a panel that's 100% spotless. If you do, it's always a massive bonus. But every now and again, it's going to have a couple of little nibs in it. And this one does have that. So it's got a couple of spaces where it's probably got maybe maximum six nibs in there in a couple of small places. But those nibs are not going to take you long at all to do. And so compared to the other panel where I skipped out some of the processes, it's a much cleaner finish. So for those of you who don't have an anti-static gun, this is a little tech tip. This product here is going to be your final stage in prepping. So make sure you always keep it clean. Don't just, and I've seen this, don't put it in your pocket, don't just put it down on the side, because every time you put it in your pocket, you imagine all that fluff and stuff that's in your pocket. So the next time you come and wipe a panel, you're going to be spreading that. They come in a little plastic bag. Just put it back in that bag, all right? A little fiddly, but for the couple of seconds it takes you to do that, you're gonna keep your tack rag nice and clean and prolong its life. And also get that better finish on the panel.